Hi, it's Andy, and in this video we're going to study Mississippi John Hurt, Lay Me a Pallet on the Floor. Okay, here we go. It's in the key of C. Like many of his songs, he plays it in the key of C. And the main chords played in the tune are obviously a C chord or a C7. There's a G chord in there. And there's a F bar chord. And that's basically it, and it comes back to C. Okay, I'm going to start with the chords and the melody first. So let's just take it from the top and work on the chords. Okay, here we go. So to play the accompaniment part in this tune, you're going to start with the C chord. So finger your basic C chord here with your left hand. Then you're going to take your thumb of your right hand and you're going to get an alternate bass going. All of his songs kind of have this alternate bass sound, and we're just going to focus on that. So you're going to pluck the 5th string with your thumb, and you're going to pluck the 4th string with your thumb. Okay, so we're just going to go back and forth and get that bass line going. Well, let's just work on that. There's your bass line for a C chord. Okay, now moving on, he switches to a F bar chord, so let's hold that F bar chord. And what you're going to do now is you're going to use your thumb to play the bass line. This time you're hitting string 6, followed by string 4. So we're skipping over string 5. So 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4. Okay, then you're going to go back to a C chord again. Okay, now sometimes what you see him do on a C chord is he kind of mixes up the alternate bass, and it sounds like this. Okay, I'm going to show you what he's doing. Okay, look very closely at my left hand. Here I am holding the C chord. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 3rd finger and I'm going to move it over to the low E string. And I'm going to hit the low E string. And in context of the tune, that basically means when you start with your C, you're starting it with the basic C shape. You're hitting string 5. And you're hitting string 4. And what you're going to do next is you're going to take that finger and you're going to move it over to string 6 and play that low note. And you're going to hit string 6. And then you're going to hit string 4. So what I'm doing here is 5, 4, 6, 4. Okay, look at it from this angle too. 5, 4, 6, 4. 5, 4, 6, 4. Okay, so let's do that every time we have a C chord in the song. Okay, now let's just get that rhythm going. So we're going to play C for 2 measures and F for 2 measures. And we're just going to practice that alternate bass. So here we go. We're going to play a C chord. Then we're going to play an F chord. Back to C again. F chord. Okay, just work on that alternate bass. C, F chord. Back to C. Okay, stay on that until it starts to seem easy. Work on that alternating bass until it feels like it's becoming second nature to you. Okay, now let's move on to the melody. When you play the melody, it sounds like Okay, so there's definitely a melody on the highest two strings that you're going to bring out and play the loudest. And if you look at the tab, I'm going to provide a tab with this lesson that has just the melody written out so you can see it very clearly. So take a moment just to play through that melody part. C, B flat, D, C, D, C, A, G, high G, C, high G again, C, high G, C, open E, C, open E, D, D, C, D, C, A, G, high G, high G again, C. Okay, get that tune in your head, and that way when you try to put everything together, you'll be able to hear it while you play. Okay, let's move on to putting everything together now. When you start the tune, it has a pickup measure. There are two pickup notes at the beginning of the song. So just like the last song we did with Mississippi John Hurt, he starts on a 2 count. So you're going to go 1, 2, and then you're going to play 3, 4. So the song comes in on count 3. Okay, so give yourself a 2 count to start the tune. 1, 2. Then on count 3, what you're going to do is, while you're holding your C chord shape, you're going to pluck string 5 and string 2 at the same time. Make it a pinch. So your thumb and your middle finger are pinching the strings. And then what you're going to do next is make sure you're going to add your pinky finger in here to turn the chord into a C7. And you've got all 4 of your fingers in position to make a C7 here. And the strings you pluck for this are string 4 and string 3 at the same time. So that's a pinch with the thumb and the index finger. Okay, and so we've covered the pickup measure, and it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I want to show you something very specific with the left hand. So let's get a little closer. Okay, look at my left hand. And what I want you to notice is I'm not going to start the song with my basic C chord like this. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to only put the 2 fingers down that I'm actually going to play. I only need the note on the 2nd string and the note on the 5th string, because those are the only 2 notes that I'm going to play when I start the song. Okay, now I need these 2 fingers to play the next 2 notes. The next 2 notes are on the 4th string and the 3rd string. So the way I'm going to play the tune to start out is I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to start out with these 2 fingers, then I'm going to add these 2. So I'm adding my fingers as I need them to play the notes. 1, 2. Okay, so that's a little bit harder with the coordination, but it sure does beat trying to hold all 4 fingers down and play the C7 chord and hold everything and then start the song. So in this style of music, you can't just play block chords. You don't want to just say, oh, this is a C7 chord, bam, I'll grab the whole thing. No, just put only the fingers down that you're going to play. I'm only going to play these 2 notes. Now I'm going to play these 2 notes. It's like that on every chord. Especially when you get to those bar chords, like the F chord, where you have to hold down the full bar and use all the fingers. It's very wise to just place the fingers that you need. You don't need to play every single one of those notes in every case. You might just only play 2 of the notes. Okay, so to start the tune and to begin with the pickup measure, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the intro right there. Okay, let's move on. Now we're going to play the first full measure of the tune, which is an F chord, F bar chord, and it sounds like this. Okay, I'm going to show you that. So like I just said, it's an F bar chord, but do you really need to play all the notes? No. The only note you need at first is finger 1 on the low E string. I'm not playing a bar, I'm just putting my fingertip on the string. See, I've not got a bar chord there, I'm just putting the tip of my finger right on the string. I don't need a bar chord, I'm only playing one note. Okay, so if you start from the top of the tune, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, now what comes next? Next, we're going to need a double 3. Okay, look carefully at that. I've got my third finger on the 3rd fret, string 4, and I've got my pinky finger in there on the 3rd fret, string 2. So they're both on the 3rd fret and there's a string skip in between the fingers. And I'm going to pinch those notes and I'm going to play both of those notes at the same time, thumb and middle finger. Okay, so if I start from the top of the tune, I have this. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, notice at this point in the song, I've still got my first finger on that 1st fret F, and I've got my double 3, so I'm actually holding 3 notes right now. That way they keep ringing out. I don't want to let go of the notes there. I want to hold them out so I get a chord. Okay, one more time from the top. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. There we go. Okay, now to add in the next note. Notice I'm adding one note at a time as we go. To add the next note in there, now I will take my first finger and lay it down flat so that I have my bar chord going. Because the next note I will need to play is fret 1 on string 2. And so I'm going to have to flatten my first finger and cover all the strings of the bar so I can cover up string 2 on the 1st fret. Okay, so here it goes from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and when I play that bar chord, it's on the and of 2. Okay, now watch that very closely. Here it goes from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and notice how I went from the double 3 to a flattened out bar chord. Had to take my pinky away to make that happen. There it is. Okay, what's the next note? The next note is playing that low F again. So I'm hitting string 6. I'm still holding fret 1. My finger hasn't left that note, so I'm just replaying a note I'm already holding. Okay, so let's take it from the top and do everything so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3. That low F comes in on count 3. If the counting is confusing to you, then just think of it this way. Long, 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 fast, fast, long. So there's 2 fast notes in there. Okay, what's the next note? Okay, the next note is, again, a note I'm already holding. 3rd fret on the 4th string. We just played that note. Your finger should still be on that note. You're probably still holding that note. 3rd fret on the 4th string. So We're just replaying a note we're already holding. Okay, let's add that note in there from the top. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Here it is with no fingering with the left hand, just only the right hand hitting the open strings. 1, 2. Again, here it goes. 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's move on to the next measure. This is the second full measure of the song. What we're going to do is we're going to replay the first full measure of the song, and we'll just add one extra note. So here we go. We're starting with first finger on the low string, low F. We're playing the double 3, flattening out the bar to play first fret on the second string, hitting our low F again, and then this time, instead of just playing the 4th string on the 3rd fret, we're going to play that plus add an extra note. We're going to add in finger 2 in there. We're going to put finger 2 on the 2nd fret, string number 3. And we're going to play with a pinch string 4 and string 3. So I've got 3rd fret on the 4th string, I've got 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and I'm hitting the 4th string and the 3rd string together with a pinch. So it adds one more note that we didn't play in the last measure. Okay, let's go through everything from the top. 1, 2. There it is. Okay, what's the next note? We're going back to a C chord, and we're going to pluck string 5 and string 3 at the same time. String 5 and string 3 at the same time. That's a pinch with the thumb and the index finger. Okay, let's take it from the top and add that note in there. 1, 2. There it is. Okay, did you notice that when I got to the C chord, I only had one finger on the fretboard? When I got to the last note that we've just studied, when he returns to the C chord, I didn't set up a full C chord. I only played the one finger that I needed. I don't need all those other fingers. I only needed finger 3. So I didn't set up a full C chord. I'm only playing one finger there. Okay, now let's move on. What's the next thing that happens? Now you're going to need to set up the full C. Plus, you're going to need to add in the pinky finger to play a high note. 3rd fret on the high E string. It's just another variation of the C chord. And what we're going to do right there is we're going to pluck string 4 and string 1 together, followed by string number 2. Okay, I'm going to say that again. We're going to pluck string 4 and string 1 together, which this time I'm doing with my thumb and my middle finger with a pinch. And then I'm playing string 2 with my index finger. I'm going to need all 4 fingers holding that extended C chord to play this. Okay, and those 2 notes are fast. They're 8th notes. Okay, we're going to play everything we've studied so far from the top. Here we go. 1, 2. next move is we're going to do that alternate bass thing where we take our third finger and we're going to move that third finger over to the low E string so that we can play a low G, third fret on the low string. And that's going to be followed by a high G, which we're holding here, third fret on the high string. That's being pressed down on the fretboard with our pinky finger. So, to reiterate, low G and high G. And those are eighth notes, so those two notes are played fast as well. Okay, let's take it from the top. 1, 2. There it is. Now, what's next? Okay, well, we're holding kind of a full C chord with the extended bass. We're going to keep holding that. And we're going to strike string 4 with our thumb and string 2 with our index finger this time. So string 4 and string 2. And those are eighth notes, so they're fast. Okay, let's add that into the mix. Here we go. From the top. 1, 2. There we go. Okay, let's move on to the next measure. In the next measure, we're still holding a C chord. Okay, move your third finger back to its basic position for a C chord. So your third finger is now going to be on the third fret on the fifth string. And we are still holding the pinky finger on that high G, third fret on the high string. So we have our extended C chord with our left hand. And what we're going to do there is we're going to pluck string 5 with our thumb, and we're going to pluck string 1 with our middle finger. And it's going to be 2 eighth notes. Or I'm sorry, those two notes are together. String 5 and string 1 are played together. And it's followed by an eighth note, which is basically on string 2. Sounds like 2 fast notes, 2 eighth notes. Okay, let's add that into the mix. Here we go from the top. 1, 2. Okay, what happens next? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this pinky finger away and play just a standard C chord. And we're going to hit string 4 and string 1 together, followed by string 2. So those are eighth notes. They're played fast. Okay, let's play everything from the top now. 1, 2. Okay, what happens next? We're doing that alternating bass thing where your third finger has to hop over to the low string to play that low G. And we're going to play that low 6th string, and this time we're going to combine it with string 1, which is an open E. So hit string 6 and string 1 together. And then the next move is to take your pinky finger and this time press it down on the 3rd fret, string number 2. And we're going to play string 2. We're playing a D with our pinky finger there. So we have... Okay, let's take it from the top. 1, 2. Okay, now the final note in this measure is a note we're probably holding already. It's on the 4th string. You're probably holding 2nd fret, string 2, because that's part of a C chord. So we're going to be hitting the 4th string, and that's the final note in that measure. Okay, so let's add that note into the mix. Here we go. 1, 2. Okay, then at that point you hear them go back to the F chord again, and it's played exactly the same way we just played. Okay, so we've covered the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 measures of the tune, and it's only been a C chord and an F chord so far. I hope that you've found the one note at a time method of learning interesting, and I'll see you in part 2.